and we start in your top 5. Because frankly, Pete, you'd think anytime the Dolphins come out and hang a 70 burger, 70 points, you're the only person remotely alive on this podcast. Like I wasn't even, my parents were like 16 when this happened. Like my parents were 16 the last time somebody scored 70 points in an NFL game, and you rank the Dolphins 4th behind the Chiefs, who have lost a game, behind the Eagles, who are fine and undefeated, behind the 49ers. Is this a bias, perhaps, because of a tweet from this past offseason? At Prisco CBS, Dolphins with healthy Tua still 5th or 6th team in the conference and second best in the state to Jacksonville. Defend yourself, Prisco.
It's 3 games. You guys are just like everybody else in this league. 3 games. If I'm not mistaken, didn't the 49ers lose 2 of their first 3 last year, if I'm not mistaken? And then they rallied. 3 games. That's all
they got Brock Purdy.
Games.
Joe Montana Purdy.
3 games, though. Okay, they scored 70. What if they scored 40? Would you still feel the same way? No. The game got out of hand. The Broncos quit. It was a hell of a performance. The Dolphins are playing great football. They're fast as hell. They're fun to watch. Tua's the MVP right now. But it's 3 games. And if they played the Chiefs on a neutral site, who you picking?
What's the line?
Picking the game to win the game. Pick it. Say call pick 'em, just like you normally would.
I'll take the Dolphins just for
I think I picked the Dolphins right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
How about
have a big
49ers and Dolphins?
I'm taking the
49ers.
Dolphins over anyone right now.
I'm taking the Niners. I would take the Dolphins over the Eagles, though.
You're the overreaction king of all time, Ryan. I mean, guy goes play the college quarterback, throws for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns, and you put him number 1 ahead of Caleb Williams. I mean, come on.
What?
You're the overreaction
It happens every
king.
week.
You put Bo Nix ahead of Caleb Williams?
You got to listen to the podcast.
Why would I listen to your podcast? You don't listen to mine, except when you're on, and then you're not
I'm
even really
literally
listening.
on the podcast and not listening to it. So you
Hey,
have
that's
to
what
tell
I'm
the truth about that.
but the whole league, every fan and every media member overreacts to 3 games. And the
Pete,
Dolphins are fun.
Let me ask you this, because Breach mentioned this on Sunday night. And Breach, you can actually mention it. What did Tua do in the last 3 games last year? The first 3 games last year?
Oh, first 3 games, they went 3-0, and the stats were identical. Completions, attempts, touchdown passes, interceptions, all the exact same this year as they were last year.
So it's not just a 3-game sample.
Then we were talking about how great he was, and he went to San Francisco for the 3-game start of the 3-game road trip, played poorly there, played terrible against the Chargers, and then Buffalo wasn't great either. So when you look at it, yeah, he's off to a great start, and he is the MVP right now. I have a vote. If I had to vote right now, I'd give it to Tua.
Well, that to me is a concession that you were wrong initially, so I take your apology.
It's a long season. What am I wrong about? I'd still take Justin Herbert over Tua.
Does he have fire in the belly?
Who knows? He's got a bunch of speedy merchants around him, makes it easy on him.
Did you say speedy
The
merchants?
biggest surprise, the biggest
What are they selling? Are they selling their wares in a marketplace? Like
speed merchants. You know, they call them speed merchants.
Love it.
The thing about the biggest surprise about the Miami Dolphins is how well the offensive line is playing.
They're playing great. That's right.
Yeah.
And Tehran was back this week, I believe, right?
Yes, he was, and he played very well. And Mike McDaniel's a genius when it comes to calling plays. And they have so much speed that it makes it easy to call plays. They scare the daylights out of people. So, I mean, when you look at it, yeah, it's a great start. Watch out this week in Buffalo.
Could be a bad week for you next week, Pete, if things don't go the way you want them to.
You have the Bills. You have the Bills at 5. I feel like Dolphins 4, Bills 5 is kind of like you sort of saying I'm picking the Bills to win and cover the 3 points. They're favored by 2.5 or 3, whatever it is.
I think they win. I think they win this week. And I think Buffalo's defense has improved in large part because Sean McDermott's calling the defenses. They were too vanilla for so many years. And now he saw that, realized, hey, look, I got to get back to my roots a little bit. And they're much more aggressive. And they had 9 sacks last week. They get after the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, they did have 9 sacks. There's no taking that away. But you talk about the Denver Broncos giving up. It looked like the Commanders had no idea they were playing football for much of that game. But
no, they didn't. They played poorly too. But still, 9 sacks is 9 sacks. That's
impressive.
Right.
It was against the team that was 2-0 going into the week. The Dolphins beat on a team that everybody already thought was bad and was 0-2 and gave up in the second quarter.